Well, it's a battle between a couple of teams that have been playing leapfrog in the standings for the last couple of days, and the Wildcats, after a meeting last week, have jumped over the Thunder in the standings here. It's a pre-recorded one here on High Button Sports. We thank you for tuning in whenever you are tuning into this one. My name is Jaden Camo, getting you set inside here, the Credit Union Center in Kingston. We've had some technical difficulties tonight, but we're still going to get this one recorded for you and up onto High Button Sports YouTube channel. This one's played into the corner, back at the point. Ringette dumps it in, and they'll go cross ice. It's back out to center. Gambit tried to play one up. This one gets sent back into the Wildcat zone. Whittier's there to cover this. It's an early whistle. And a face-off that'll come back to the blocker side of Whittier. Off the draw, it's played out to center. Nickerson gives chase. And they score. A quick one out front for Jack Terrace. And just like that, the Wildcats have taken the early lead here in Kingston. Cooper Singer plays this one up the wall. Ulick walks in, the skipper for that Fundy Thunder team. Sends it off the blocker of Whittier, and this will go all the way back out to center. Headman pass for Ulick again is tipped into the zone. And now Troop from center. They'll chase his dump in all the way into the far side corner, but it's played back all the way down. Whittier stops it up there for Cameron. Chipped in by Cohen Pearl. That'll be held on to by Callum DeWolf. And we'll get a face-off down in the Thunder zone. So quick opening goal here for the Wildcats. Tommy Ferguson, the affiliate, up with the U16 squad from the U15 major team. Off the face-off, that's sent wide by Terrace. And now up into neutral ice. Cochran couldn't get a stick on that. And now Cameron plays it back for Pitts. They'll send this one into the offensive zone. Singer at the point, plays it back into center, and Cameron throws his weight around down there. Getting a good bump in on Moore. To the point, Lonergan just couldn't get there in time. It's over to the far side. Terrace is peeled off by Singer. And now an offside call is charged to the Thunder. And we'll Head back down to the Thunder zone for a face-off. 17-11 to go here in the first. Into the far side corner. This is played around for Singer. Gets it to the line. It escapes back out to neutral ice. Ringette tried to play it ahead. Atkinson was there. Now on the near side, Kenny takes a bump but plays it ahead. And now back across. Blandon tried to chip that one around more, but couldn't get it to go. An offside will be called at the far side blue. So another face-off to come. Just under 16:20 left to go here. Another face-off by the Wildcats. It's picked up by Terrace, sent down the ice. No icing. Lava comes in to pick that one up. The former Valley Wildcat. This one's back to the point in front. Terrace, the rebound, another save. Couple of chances on the back door. One for Terrace, one for McRae, who's sporting the fishbowl out there now. Face off one by the Wildcats. Terrace tried to load and fire, but couldn't get the shot off, and a high stick will be called. And the face off will go back to the face-off dot outside the Cat zone. Pitts goes across to Singer. That one's into the bench, and Singer gets dumped by Terrace at the line. Ferguson and Ulof will face off out at center. Ferguson able to win it over to Gosling. He sends it into the offensive zone. Ferguson tried to play one back up the wall, intercepted, and taken out to center by McIver. He rims it all the way around the wall. Ulof, his shot was deflected. Back onto the half wall it goes. Troop in the corner. He's met there by Ulof. It's played up the wall. Ferguson's going to chip it out. He does. Pearl gives it back to Ferguson, who turns and drives wide. His shot turned aside by Callum DeWolf. And another face-off will come. Just under 15 minutes left to go here. 5 minutes gone in the opening frame. Now Cochran. And Baird playing one in front, but the shot is blocked at the point. Now Terrace. He drops Lonergan into the corner. Terrace tried to spin it out front. That one intended for Austin Robichaux on the far side. Just couldn't get it to go. Terrace across here for Lonergan. He dumps it into the offensive zone and behind the net. Picked up by Lava. That's into the netting and out of play. So faceoff coming back down into the Wildcat zone. Out to center. A hit on the far side. Back to Pitts at the red line. He'll gain the zone, dumped it in, and quickly turned back the other way by the Wildcats. Etheridge played it ahead, tipped down by Pitts, so no icing. Now the Thunder trying to start the breakout. It's Atkinson who picks it up in behind his own net, flipping it out to center. Gambin leaves it there for more. He takes a bump and Ringette plays it back up through center. Now down to the Wildcat zone. Terrace is going to receive this one up the half wall. Plays it to center for Blandon. He almost lost it in his feet. Back out to center. McRae chips at it. And now Gagnon, threw one through the middle of the ice. And Gambin turned the other way. Nickerson now breaking in. His pass to McRae is blocked in front. And now Singer starts up the other way for the Thunder. Across for Cochran. And now back at the far point. This one's played into the zone. Nickerson chips it across for Terrace. And now a loose puck in front, covered up by DeWolf. Almost a dangerous chance. But the Thunder goaltender able to cover this one up. It's a face-off to the glove side. Ferguson will face off here once again. Ferguson winning another draw. It's corralled by Pearl back to the point. Troop almost fanned on it, but got the second attempt down into the corner. Ferguson back to the point for Gosling. He sends a quick shot towards the net, and that's turned aside off the paddle of Callum DeWolf. Now another face-off win for Tommy Ferguson. This one's played into the corner and back to the point, but Gosling a little too close in off the line and just couldn't receive that pass across from Troop. And that one's worked offside by McIver. Ulyth was in ahead of the play, so the face-off will come back outside the Wildcat zone just over midway through the first period. Cooper Singer up through neutral ice. He gives a shove to Cameron on the way through. Now Nickerson, back up through center. Baird there met with Cameron. A penalty's going to be coming And it looks like it's going to be a headshot. We'll see who takes this one. Maddox Rennie going to go to the box. And a face-off to start the power play down in the offensive zone for the Thunder. Gambit at the point, plays it across for Pearl and down low for Terrace. Back up top, Pearl to Gambit. He walks, and that's right into the glove of DeWolf. And he'll hold on, 10-18 to go left in the first period. Terrace plays it back to Gambit. He's able to just keep this one inside. Pearl sets up now. Goes back across to Gambit. Now Pearl from the point. He'll send one back door. And they do score. So a late bobble. Cohen Pearl's going to lead the flyby. Not sure who it touched in front. Must have been a Fundy Thunder defense. As Cohen Pearl going to celebrate that one. And that makes it 2-0 here for the Wildcats. So off the face-off, it's played into the bench, and that'll bring the face-off back down into the Thunder zone. No battle in front. This one's played out to neutral ice, though, and Ketty gets the better part of Warwick out at center, and Warwick sends a bump into the number 5 of Ketty's jersey. Now Ketty goes cross ice looking for Etheridge. He gives chase. Now back down for Whittier. He'll hold on, and a face-off will come. There's going to be a couple of players as Gagnon gets a talking to there from the referee. Not sure what that was about. Might have gave a little tap there to Whittier, the referee, and Whittier having a little conversation. This one's played across for Terrace. Laba trying to lay a bump there on his former teammate. Now McCray plays it into the offensive zone. Terrace trying to dig this one free. McCray comes away with it. Spun out to the slot. Gosling at the point will send one through. That's blocked by Warwick. And now Warwick takes his time, gets to center, and sends one in towards Whittier. Now back up through center. Gagnon takes a couple of whacks at it. Couldn't get it where he wanted it to go, but it is into the offensive zone. Down the wall, Singer tried to stop up. He's pressured there by Nickerson. And now up ahead for Jude Cochran. He's going to walk in, fire one upstairs. It's up on Whittier. He lost sight of that. Now back to the point. White goes deep into the corner. Behind the net, Cochran picks it up. Back up top for White. He slaps towards the goal, but off a stick, it went up over. Didn't make its way towards Owen Whittier. That's Harris. Cross ice. Tried to hit Tommy Ferguson here on the near side. Now Pearl takes that one away. His shot just goes up over the net. And a penalty going to be coming here. We'll see who takes this one. Might be coincidentals, but we will see what the official call is. 2 for interference, it looks like. And I think Singer's going to get the only one. So another Wildcats power play. Off the face-off. Blandon, his shot is blocked. They'll go back up top for Gambin. He walks across for Banks. He drops for Cameron McCray. McCray goes back up top for Gambin. Little quick move of the line, but it's turned aside. And now the Wildcats will try to break in on the near side. Blandon gets one into the slot. And at the line, Gambin unable to clear, or unable to hold the line, excuse me. And back to McCray they'll go. He'll start from behind his own net. Now McCray drops for Gambin, who goes cross ice. That one out of the reach of Madden Blandon. And now it's Harris. That one given away in front. Now a chance in. They score. A blunder there in the defensive zone, costing the Valley Wildcats. And that's a 2-1 lead now for the Cats after a shorthanded goal for the Thunder. One that Thomas Gambin might want back. Still 40 seconds left here on the power play. Whittier for Stoddard. And they'll get the return feed. Stoddard up through center. Neckerson now tries to play it into the offensive zone. Neckerson. Work to the front of the net. That one was played wide on the half wall. Picked up by Pitts and sent down the ice. Stoddard now sends a long headman pass up to Jaden Etheridge, but he lost control. And Cameron plays it ahead. He takes a bump. Moore walks in, glove saved by Whittier. And he'll hold on for the face-off. We're back to even strength. 5:07 on the clock. Tommy Ferguson back on the draw here for the Wildcats with Moore. Moore won that one back. Probably the first face-off that Ferguson has lost here today. It's Blandon working one into the offensive zone. His shot off the bat of Callum DeWolf. Now at the point, Gosling walks, drops it back down the wall. Now back at the point, Gosling takes a bump, but sends it ahead for Blandon. Now back at the point, Ferguson sends one through. That's just wide. And behind the net, Banks trying to center one, and it's kept in at the line. Banks will play it forward. Behind the net, Ferguson first to it. He'll take a bump in the corner. Singer flips this one into neutral ice. Gosling sends one through neutral ice. Once again, it's past a couple of sticks, and finally Uliff will send it into the offensive zone. Nickerson chips it ahead. That's poked into the offensive zone by McCray, but a little too far. Singer gets a stick on this and moves it up for Cogger. Uliff, cross ice McIver, and that goes just through the crease. Now McCray plays it ahead. It's Ringette and Gambin up off the wall, and offside delayed there to the Thunder, so some time to regroup for the Wildcats, and it's Jack Terrace walking in, rips one just wide. Terrace has got a rocket. Now Ringette from the point, plays it back down low for Terrace on the half wall. Tried to turn off the wall, just couldn't get by his man. That was Reed. And now on the dump-in attempt, Whittier's got it in the glove. He'll hold on for the face-off. 2:42 left to go in the opening frame. Off the face-off, it's kept in at the line by Singer. A big bump in the corner delivered by Tommy Ferguson. And now out to center. Banks will give chase. In the corner, Banks tried to play it back up for Ferguson, but they'll get it back at the top of the zone. Ferguson played it behind the net. Now Banks, he takes a bump, but he's first back to his feet. And now Ringette. Out through center, Pearl calling for it. Pearl gets around his man, plays it back up the wall for Ferguson. He lays a bump. And now Cochran walks into the offensive zone. His shot off the glass. Ringette down low. Ferguson starts out through center up to Blandon. And they'll walk into the offensive zone. Rips one that's out of the glove of DeWolf. He bobbled that. And they'll play it back up the wall. Etheridge able to keep it in. And the Thunder will try the near side. It's Blandon giving a bump there and working it into the offensive zone, but it's just offside as Etheridge works in ahead of the play. Face-off will come back out to neutral ice. Ketty and Gagnon back on the draw. Sent to the far side. Nathan Laba up through center. And now a penalty going to come here to the Wildcats. We'll see who takes this one. Looks like it might be Etheridge, and it will be. Referees will confer here at center ice. We'll see who takes it. Etheridge is going to the box, but they look like they want someone else. So they'll take Etheridge and Ketty. Ketty's going in, not sure why. So they've got Etheridge for 2, Ketty for 2. So 5-on-3 here for Fundy. So off the draw, it's played back for Singer, but that escapes the zone. Nickerson giving chase out through center. It's worked in now by Uliff. Drop back for Maddox Rennie. Far side, Cochran walks to the top of the slot. He's watched closely there by Troop. Played in, and Nickerson gets in front of that, sending it down the ice. The first 32 seconds of this power play taken care of there by Braden Nickerson. Now Uliff drops. That shot by Rennie off the shin pad of Nickerson once again. Rennie from the top of the zone. That one didn't make it towards the net. Cochran calling for it, but the pass across a little too hard to handle, and that'll be it for the first period. So 2-1 after one. We thank you for tuning into High Button. Second period will be right after this short intermission. Welcome back inside the Credit Union Center in Kingston for the second period of play between the Fundy Thunder and Valley Wildcats. We'll take a look at the league standings quickly before we get into this second period of play. Last weekend, after the Wildcats' 5-3 win over the Thunder back in Colchester, they picked up the point that put them ahead of the Thunder in the standings. The Wildcats now top of this second quartet. The Buccaneers would kind of make that line between the first and second tier of the league. The Wildcats sitting atop of the Thunder, Jets, Voyagers, and Thunderbirds, but still a ways from the top. Both teams getting set for the playoffs that are right around the corner. And we're underway here on High Button for the second period. Remember, the Wildcats still in a 5-on-3 penalty kill as this one's worked over for Moore. His shot goes high and wide on the far side. Moore gets it back. Cross ice for McIver. He walks off the blocker of Whittier, and the rebound put wide on the far side. McIver back on top to Pitts at the point. Now Moore. He walks in. That's off a body in front. Troop trying to get there first, but he's beat to it by Cogger. Up top, McIver with 10 to go. That shot turned aside in front. And McIver's back on the half wall. He drops for Pitts. Pitts cross ice into the slot. And now McIver picks it back up. He's going to drive in deep. Two pairs of fresh legs come out for the Wildcats as Etheridge and Ketty make their way back onto the ice. And this one sent down the ice. It'll be an icing call, charge to the Wildcats. So we'll head back down to the Cat zone. Once again, folks, we thank you for tuning in here on High Button. It's a pre-recorded version of this U16 AAA Hockey League production. White from the point sends one towards Whittier. The rebound just goes up over the net. Now a chance out front. They score. Loose puck right in front, right on the stick of Maddox Rennie. And we're all tied up here in Kingston. Face off one by the Thunder. Singer will send it up the far side. Blandon gives chase. What was a quick start for the Wildcats has been turned back to an even game after the Wildcats started with a 2-0 lead. Now down in the Thunder zone, the Wildcats pressing offensively, trying to keep the good pressure going. Terrace just had that one slip off the toe of his stick, but at the point, Gambin will play it back down in. Terrace and McRae both giving chase into the corner. This one's played around the wall. Gambin gonna pinch in on the far side. He's able to keep that one. And now out at center, it was worked out by White. It'll be worked down for an icing call. And now we'll go back down to the Fundy Thunder zone for the face-off to the blocker side of Callum DeWolf. Ferguson, Banks, and Pearl. Stoddard and Cameron at the blue line. Pearl trying to find an option, goes back to Stoddard at the point. And he's able to hold the line. Stoddard trying to flick one across for Tommy Ferguson. And that one gets all the way back down the ice. A quick up. Banks, he's got a chance in alone, but that one just rolled off his stick as he was awaiting that stretch pass at the blue line. Now Banks up top. Cameron shot wide of the net. Stoddard trying to keep this one in. He does as he falls. And now at the line, Ferguson able to keep it in. Ferguson into the slot, but that one couldn't find Banks, the intended recipient. And that'll be sent all the way down the ice. Another icing call charge to the Thunder as Moore goes crashing into the end wall. Just 4 minutes gone here in this second period, and the Fundy Thunder have tied things up off a goal for Maddox Rennie, the former Truro Bearcat. Austin Robichaud on the draw. Another one of these U15 major call-ups out here with his teammate Rowan Lonergan. And the supervisor, we'll call him Jack Terrace. Rowan Lonergan sends one towards the net. Robichaud couldn't let it go. Had his stick tied up all the way in. Now this one slapped back into the corner. And that'll exit the zone as a shot from Moore goes up around the netting and out of play. So we'll go back down into the Thunder zone. Lonergan and Robichaud staying out here with Jack Terrace. Robichaud going to take the draw. Terrace will set up right behind him, trying to load and rip one. And he does. Perfect setup. Terrace right into the glove. What a play there for the Wildcats. Another face-off win from Robichaud. And they'd love to do the same. Terrace is going to set up right in that exact same spot. Robichaud won it, but they might have read that one perfectly. Lonergan able to get a stick on that. He keeps it in. Down low for Robichaud. Robichaud takes a bump. Now on the far side, Robichaud is going to get called on that one. So holding call going to come here to Austin Robichaud. So the last 45 seconds not being very friendly to Roby. He takes a bump and then gets a call going the other way. Back up top, Singer. As the Thunder get going on the man advantage. Now with a tie game, McIver tried to unload, but he couldn't let it go. This one's played back out to center ice after that shot goes wide. Now Banks trying to pin this one to the wall, and Neckerson now swatted a couple times, couldn't get a clean stick, and now he will. That's right into the Thunder bench. Heads up. We'll go back down into the Cat zone to the blocker side of Owen Whittier. Cochran back to Singer. Now back for Cochran. He'll try and set up, find an option off the half wall. It's across for Singer, who goes down low. McIver trying to walk it out front, but that one cleared out of danger, but right back to the point it goes. On the half wall, Warwick bobbled. Singer goes back across for Ulyth, and he goes down low for Jude Cochran. Cochran tried to swing it in front, and they score. Rennie's got two. A power play goal for Maddox Rennie, the second of the game, off the stick of 18. And it's a 3-2 game now in favor of the Fundy Thunder. Face off at center, controlled by the Thunder and sent into the offensive zone. Once again, they're offside, so the Wildcats able to set up, send it far for Madden Blandon. Ringette. Now Ketty. Try to play it up the wall. This one finds the stick of Madden Blandon. He works in. Met there by a couple of Funny Thunders. And now Gambin. Now out to center. Nice move made by Ketty, but that one taken away by Atkinson into the corner. Blandon gives a bump there, and Blandon's going to be getting a penalty. We'll see who goes. It might be both of them, and I think it will be. We'll see what comes out of this. Etheridge down there as well. Blandon, Atkinson. So the two 22s will hop over the board into the box. Look kind of synchronized there. Two 22s both jumping over the board at the same time. We'll see what the official calls are. Atkinson not happy. Referee says it stays 5-on-5. So two coincidentals, and that'll be it. Now Pearl out front. This one gets back to Gambin at the point. He tried to go cross ice, but that one's taken away. Working into the zone, and that shot just goes wide from Ulyth. Now the slot. Ulyth tried to get it back. Sent up for Tommy Ferguson. He tried to send it in. He gets the rebound off the back wall. Ferguson back to the point for Gambin. That one's off a shin pad. Back down low. Banks couldn't get that one cleanly. He runs into White in front of the net. And now back at the point, Pearl plays one into traffic. Banks in the corner. And now Gambit around the wall on the far side. Banks picks it up. Walks around the top of the zone. Throws one towards the net. That's wide. Ferguson trying to pick one up. Leaves it for Pearl. Pearl towards the net. Turn aside. Ferguson waiting for it at the top of the slot. And that one just gets by him, but doesn't get by Jackson Ringette holding the line. Ferguson tried to poke one forward. Terrace gets onto it. And Ferguson knocks it back inside the zone. Pearl towards the Wolf. That one turned aside. Terrace now giving chase in the corner. Ferguson back across for Nickerson, but that one met there by the stick of McIver, deflecting it. And now back out to center once again, Ringette. For Gambin now. Gambin throws one towards the goal on the far side. McRae will keep it in. Now Nickerson off the stanchion, a weird bounce, and that'll go out of play. So the faceoff coming right outside the Thunder zone. 10:27 left to go. Now Cameron. So face off after that one goes out of play. We'll bring it back down right outside the Wildcat zone. This one's played around the wall. Stoddard first to it. He plays it into traffic. Banks comes in to help out. Cameron. And now taken by the Thunder. It's work towards the net. A whistle will come. So the face-off coming back to the glove side of Whittier. It'll be Ferguson and Cochran. Now Singer sends one through. It's off a body. That was Banks making the block there. And now once again, out to the top of the zone. Banks gets a stick on it. Works it out to center. Pearl gives chase as well. Ferguson's back down in the corner. And now back out at center. That one turned aside. Now away goes Tommy Ferguson. In through center. That one taken off the stick. A penalty coming. So Ferguson drawing the penalty on that one. It'll be Warwick getting off of the box. And we'll see who the Wildcats send out here for the power play. It'll be Banks, Terrace, McRae, Pearl, and Gambin. So this top unit coming back out for the Wildcats. off the face-off. It's back for Thomas Gambit. Sends one towards the net. Terrace just tipped it wide. And now down the ice it goes. Whittier out to settle it. And now picked up by McRae. Chips it off the wall past Ulyth, but Ulyth got a stick on and knocked it back down low. Cogger trying to give some trouble. And Pearl drops it back for Gambin. Gambin across now for Banks. And they'll try and set up through neutral ice. This goes, but Lava sends it back down in. Up the wall. Terrace waiting for it. He's got Laba right by him. Terrace gets the best of Laba on that hip check attempt. Now Terrace behind the net. Tries to get past Lava. And now Terrace and Lava look like they're gonna get some coincidentals behind the play. So they've got the 2 for Terrace up on the board. No, they'll take it down. And they'll move this face-off back out to neutral ice. So we're back to 5-on-4, but probably the most lethal power play weapon for the Wildcats is sitting in the box. Madden Blandon starts up from his own zone, trying to weave his way into the offensive zone. Blandon gets by Pitts in front, and Etheridge just sent it wide. Now Etheridge into the slot at the point. That one from Blandon just goes wide. Troop down low. Etheridge back to the point. Ringette to Troop. They'll try and work one in from the half wall. Ringette tried to play it down, and this is batted out of midair, back out to center ice. And Blandon picks it up. Nickerson now. And it's sent ahead. Nickerson gives a bump, but Singer able to pick this one up and cleanly send it ahead, almost able to hit Rennie on the breakaway. Now back up front, what a save by Whittier. What a chance on the back door. Point blank opportunity, but Owen Whittier once again getting something in front of it. Not sure if it was the pad, the glove, the arm, but the puck unable to find the mesh. And that's all that Whittier is worried about there. Now Lonergan, now to center. Taken away by Rennie. He's got 2, can he get 3? Not that time, says Witt. Right into the glove. And another face-off will come back down to the glove side of the Wildcats goaltender. 6:41 left to go here in the second. Face-off won by the Thunder. White across for Singer. His shot blocked in front. Now Singer from behind the net. Trying to find someone to dump it off to. He dumps it off to the corner. Now Rennie trying to work out and get something started on his own. He does. Rennie towards the net. That one's up. Whittier might have lost sight of it, but it's picked up here by Robichaud and worked to the half wall. Stonner plays it out of the zone, and the Wildcats with some time now. They'll reset. Banks up the wall. Robichaud in through center for Lonergan. Rowan Lonergan trying to make a move in, but that one taken away. Now Robichaud works in his shot. Held onto by DeWolf. And some good work now by the Wildcats youngsters. The pushing and shoving, not stopping here at any point tonight. Lonergan giving a mouthful to the Fundy Thunder as they pass by. Banks trying to play it back for Gosling, and this one's into a couple of pairs of skates on the half wall. It's worked out by Jacob Cogger to center. They'll stay onside as McIver walks in over the line. McIver back for Laba. He sends one through. That's blockered back into the corner by Whittier. Now Banks up the wall for Pearl. He's going to get the red line and dump this deep. Pearl giving chase down low. He gets a stick on it, but Pitts plays it down the ice. That'll be an icing call. But Whittier comes out to play this one. Banks couldn't get a stick on that. Played in for Pearl, and he sends it back to the point. White around the wall he goes. Banks is there first. Leaves it for Gosling, and he goes cross ice for Pearl, but it's off his skate. And back into Thunder possession. White down the ice, takes a bump from Ferguson. And now Ulick works in towards the net, just missed the stick of Cogger, back door. Now Tommy Ferguson, his specialty, little stretch pass though to Zach Banks. He makes a little toe drag move, couldn't get by Singer. Now Ferguson still on the chase, but this one's out to neutral ice though. Neckerson, a big bump at center. And now Cochran. Around the wall, Terrace first to it. That one taken away. Frazier shot off a body, didn't make it towards the net. Now Neckerson with room to work ahead. He plays it ahead for McCray, but that one's turned aside. Terrace will pick this one back up, try to spin off the pressure of Gagnon. 3:25 to go here in the second period. Now Lava's shot right into the glove of Owen Whittier. And we'll hold on. 3:16 to go in the middle frame. Face off, one played around the wall. And now a chance for Blandon. On the half wall, Warwick able to get it back out to center. Gambin to Ringette, and they'll go off the far side. That'll be an icing call in charge of the Wildcats. So with just under 3 to go, we'll go back down to the Wildcat zone for a face-off. Peyton Ketty, Gavin Moore on the draw. Now Ethan Atkinson coming in to take this one for Fundy. Atkinson wins the draw, but it's controlled here by Ringette. He plays it ahead, takes a bump, but gets it into the offensive zone. This one's off the glass, kept in by Ringette at the line, but Warwick able to work one into the offensive zone. Moore, his stick was tied up as he was about to unload. And now the Wildcats trying to work it free. It's Ketty from his own zone. They'll send one in front, and they score. A backdoor feed finds the back of the net, and Madden Blandon has tied things up here in Kingston. Off the face-off, it's sent deep into the Thunder zone. Banks gives chase down low, helped out now by Pearl. Banks will try to go back to the point. This one's knocked down by Tommy Ferguson. And a good call there by the referee. Also a good high stick from Ferguson. He had a player right behind the play. Maddox Rennie was leaking way back. Without that high stick, Rennie almost would have had a good chance for his third of the game. Now Pearl chips one to the line, not out. And now Pearl once again trying to go through center. Chips it in, can't get by Pitts in time. And now Banks down low, he's met by a couple of bumps. Ferguson sends his man to the ice. A big bump down there from Tommy Ferguson. He gets that puck back out at center. Ferguson towards the net. That's just wide on the near side. Another bump from the big man. Ferguson down low. Now a penalty coming here. Maybe we'll see what the call is. It looks like the referee found something he didn't like. Never mind. I was wrong on that one. No penalty call. Just a quick arm in the air from the referee. On the far side, down low to Terrace. Now sent out to neutral ice. Troop is there. Gosling sends it down in. This one gets to neutral ice. Hit on the far side by Nickerson. And now back outside the zone. This one played in. Witter will hold on. 25 to go. He plays it back for Gosling. In through neutral ice. Right back into the Wildcat zone it goes. Gosling around the wall, and that one goes out of play. 14 seconds left to go. Off the draw now. This is into the corner. 10 seconds will tick away as Laba gets it across the Pitts. And that'll do it as Etheridge gains control. Through two here in Kingston. It's a tie game. Madden Blandon has us all tied up at the end of 40 minutes. We thank you once again for tuning into High Button, a short intermission, and then back with the third. Minutes left to go here in Kingston. It's a tie game thanks to the latest by Madden Blandon that tied us up in the late parts of the second period. We'll head back to center ice as we get set for the third period. Once again, thank you for tuning in to this one on High Button Sports. The third period is underway. Back out through neutral ice. This one's played. Pearl tried to get a stick on it. He couldn't, and Moore will play it into the offensive zone. Gambin lets this one go up the wall. He'll get that loose puck and chip one on the backhand out to center. Pearl will swipe at that, but it's sent back down in for Thomas Gambin. He goes up the wall for Banks and into the slot. Nobody there to accept that one. Gambin will take it himself and send it on net. Now on the far side, McCray trying to work in. He does. He gets by Reed down low. McCray into the slot for Nickerson. Blocker save by DeWolf. Point blank, Braden Nickerson walking into the offensive zone. Couldn't beat the blocker of Callum DeWolf. Off the draw, Gosling winds, fires, and a knuckler just goes high and wide. This one's played past Troop into the corner. Gosling has to go back forward. He sends it quickly up the half wall. And Nickerson got it out to center. Troop will push it further. Pitts holds it up at the line and sends it back for Cooper Singer. Singer to Pitts and up the half wall for Cogger. Cogger dumped at the line by Nickerson, but he's able to get it up for McIver. And now Terrace trying to break out of the zone. It's flipped ahead by Gosling for Terrace. Terrace knocks Singer off the puck, and this is sent back into the Wildcat zone. Troop plays it off for Gosling. Up ahead for Nickerson. Keddy gives chase. Gets a stick on it. Etheridge poked at it, trying to get it into the slot. Keddy will dump it into the far side corner. Singer's there. Pressured by Blandon. Back to the point. Stoddard will throw this one around the end wall. Gagnon goes around the back wall for Singer, but his clearing attempt will get out thanks to the falling Thunder forward. Able to push that one outside the line. Now Cameron down in his own end. It's picked up and sent out to the slot. Baird got a stick on it. They'll send it back towards the net. Whittier able to get a pad on it, and the second opportunity turned aside by Whittier again. Blandon now out through center. And now backdoor Banks. Just couldn't get a good enough piece of wood on that. It's worked back the other way by Fundy. A chance in. No call is a good job on the far side. Rennie was taken down off the puck. He'll work it back into the slot. Whittier's down. He's back up to his feet. Cochran on the far side gives chase. Banks tried to flip one out to center for Ferguson. Ferguson working in. For the backhand, that one just sent off a leg and wide. Banks will gather this one back out through center, sending it back into the offensive zone. It's Laba behind his own net. He goes up through center. Cochran trying to stretch this one. Now Moore. Muscled off the puck by Gambin. And Terrace trying to feed it ahead for Cohen Pearl. Pearl in the corner, tied up. Terrace able to work the loose puck free. Back to Ringette. That shot off a stick in front. Now Rennie falls McRae with it. He'll gather it back up into his own zone. Gambin tried to stretch pass, and now a penalty coming here to Fundy. Out to center, Nickerson. Back into Warwick, he'll get a stick on this, and that'll be a penalty call coming here to Moore. We'll see the official call. It's going to be a trip. And with 14:39 to go, the Wildcats will head off to the man advantage. Blandon trying to work it into the zone. Nickerson also unable to hold the line. It gets back into neutral ice. Stoddard goes off a skate. And now a chance in, 2-on-1. Backdoor. And the rebound just couldn't be put home by Cogger. Blandon now walks in on the Wolf. His shot turned aside, and now behind the net. Laba mixing it up with some of his old former teammates. So now the top unit coming back out here for the Wildcats. Banks will face off. They'll win that one. Back to the point. Pearl up top for Gambin. Back to Pearl. They'll set up. Pearl almost fanned on that one. He'll look to drop it back for Gambin. His shot off the pad. Terrace was lurking on the back door. He goes back to Pearl. Now Gambin. Down low, McRae. Banks up top for Gambin. Gambin, Pearl, his shot through traffic, couldn't make its way to the net. Terrace gathers it up down in the corner. They need to get Jack Terrace into shooting position. Now Gambin walks one in. That's off the pad of DeWolf. McRae. 45 seconds left to go on the power play. McRae gets it back from Banks. His shot goes right to the back of the net. A power play goal from Cameron McRae. And just like that, the Wildcats have regained the lead. A win here tonight for the Wildcats would put them 3 points up on the Fundy Thunder in the standings, but a win for the Thunder would lift them a point ahead of the Wildcats. Now Blandon back up, a little spinorama. Blandon trying to make a nice little move down there on the half wall. Spins away from him. Back in works Ketty. He takes a bump from Pitts and sends it into the corner. Etheridge behind the net. Tried to run into Lava. Lava made sure not to get into the tracks of Jaden Etheridge. Now Blandon giving chase. This one off his stick. Kept it at the line by Ketty, but he'll go back out to Ringette at center. And he flips it high and wide. It goes out of play, so the faceoff will come back to the neutral zone. Off the draw, Troop sends it into the zone, gets it back from the point. at the point, Troop. Tried to walk the line, got past him. Gosling was in it back in. And they'll start back from their own zone. Singer off through center. Now Gosling. Long pass out to the top of the zone. Banks tried to make a move at the red line, or the blue line, excuse me. Now Banks, far side for Pearl. They've got Ferguson with them. Ferguson tried to unload off that pass from Cohen Pearl. Doesn't need much room. Ferguson lets one go. That's off the blocker. A long pass up ahead for Pearl. He takes a bump. Ferguson trying to work in. Gains control in the corner, plays it back down low. Terrace gives chase, trying to work it free. And now Cameron able to work it back up the wall. Far side, McCray picks it up. He's met there by Cogger. And they're tied up down below the net. McCray able to work it out of danger, up through neutral ice. And now Terrace on the breakaway. And that one might be called. Will we get one? Stoddard plays one in. Still haven't touched it yet. Have the Thunder. It's worked back out to neutral ice now. No penalty shot, but we will get, or maybe we will. Looked like Terrace was in all alone. Then he got the hook. Looks like the referee might want to call it. No, they're going to send him to the box. So no penalty shot here for Terrace. But another power play will ensue here for the Wildcats. 10:23 left to go in the final period. A little Friday night hockey from Kingston. It's a one-goal game. Could it get any better than this? Both teams within a point in the standings. And now Singer's going to go to the box as well. So we saw this earlier in the game. A 5-on-3 was called against the Wildcats. But now some unhappy fans after the Thunder awarded the 5-on-3 penalty kill. Now the Wildcats send out their top unit once again. Terrace, Banks, McCray, Pearl, and Gambin. It's Gambin at the point with Cohen Pearl. They'll play pitch and catch before Gambin feeds it back to Pearl once more. Across for Banks. And he'll work in a little mohawk. Out front, Terrace. And that one just missed the far side corner. McCray couldn't get one to go. It's kept in at the line by Banks. He goes across for Pearl. Pearl will walk back across for Banks. He drops for McCray. Terrace tried to unload on the half wall. The Wildcats not really using all the space they could. They've got a lot. They need to collapse down in front to take some room away from the Fundy penalty killers, but they're allowing the Fundy PK to really stretch out. And now a timeout called by Fundy. So back down to the Fundy Thunder zone we go. The latter half of this 5-on-3 is still 70 seconds on the 2-minute advantage for the Wildcats. Top line back out. Pearl off the draw to Gambin. Right back up top for Pearl. He walks and sends it down low to Terrace in front. Loose puck. They just can't jam it home. Banks works that loose puck back to the point of Pearl. Down low to Terrace. Down front. Banks just couldn't tip one home. DeWolf is on it. Now back to the point. Pearl able to keep this one in. He jumps it down to Terrace, and this will get back to Pearl. Now Terrace sends one in front. Banks clears it to the half wall to McCray. Little set up. Still 30 seconds left on the power play. McCray walks in. Wow. Cameron McCray into the slot, bar down, and it's a 2-goal lead for the Cats here in Kingston. Off the face-off, the Wildcats lead by 2, and they've got control. Blandon on the half wall. Helped out by Gosling, the big man. Will send it into the offensive zone. Cochran trying to work in offensively, but that one held up at the blue line once again by Gosling. It goes back for Troop. And now worked out to neutral ice. Blandon giving chase. Singer's got it. He'll play it far side for Baird. Now into the slot. Rennie trying to make a move, but Whittier's got the glove on it, and he'll hold on. Cochran and Rennie will switch places off the draw, but it won't matter as Robichaud works one into the offensive zone. Robichaud with Lonergan. Lonergan sent it out front. Ferguson, the 3 Wildcats from the U15 squad getting a little time together. Now Rennie drops it down low. Cameron holds up on the far side. This one's played around for Lonergan. Now a shot from the point goes off the shin pad, and it's picked up by Tommy Ferguson behind the net. Ferguson's got room to go, but he's stripped there at the line by Rennie. Rennie walks in, blocker saved by Whittier. Now Ferguson lays a bump on Rennie. Now Rennie down on the ice, so we'll take the camera off of him and head back to center ice. We'll take a minute here on High Button, and we'll be right back. So Rennie back to his feet. The face-off will come back to the neutral zone right outside of the Wildcats bench. This one played back for Gambin. He goes up neutral ice. Now Terrace working in that shot into the glove of DeWolf. Now Frazier, picks one up, goes far side for Warwick. But it's turned aside by Nickerson. He'll play it off a shin pad and back down into the offensive zone. Ringette. Up the wall he goes. McRae trying to chase after this at neutral ice. Play to the far side, Terrace. Leaning on him was Reed, but couldn't get it to go. Terrace now in front. And now Nickerson with a big hit on the far side. Referee's got the hand in the air. And that one will be called as Gambin touches up. So Nickerson gonna go. We'll see what the official call here is. They're gonna call 2 for the head contact, so they've got to find something to call here to make up for that last hit on Rennie that the Fundy parents weren't too happy about. And Rennie, after taking that hit, is right back out here on the power play looking for his third of the game. Now out at center, Ulith goes cross ice. It's dropped for Maddox. Rennie drops it off for Cochran. Cochran makes a move, works in, and Whittier gets across. What a save! And now Ulith able to find the back door, or the back of the net on the back door. And that'll cut the lead to 1 with 5:21 to go. Whittier made a 10-bell stop on the near side, but all alone was Trent Ulith on the back door. And it's a 1-goal game. Now back out comes Tommy Ferguson. He tried to burn wide past Singer. Got a stick on him, though. Now back from the point. Pitts will send one through, and they score. Simon Joseph Pitts from the point through a screen, and it's all tied up here in Kingston. This one's sent into the offensive zone. Blandon will pick it up. Etheridge is there. He lays a bump on Reed. And now Whittier will hold on off the dump in from Cogger. Now back from the point. Pitts, right where he scored from moments ago, but that one going wide. Witter will hold on. 4:29 left on the clock. Cochran, Baird, and Rennie with McCray, Nickerson, and Terrace for the Wildcats. This one's sent to center. Nickerson gets a stick on it. McCray's there as well. Plays it ahead. Pitt's got a stick on that, and it'll be turned back the other way by Rennie. Into the corner. That's an icing call. So back down to the Thunder zone we go. And the same 5 will stay out for the Cats. Getting down to crunch time. Will we see overtime here tonight on this chilly Friday? Now a long pass from Singer. That's ahead for Rennie. That'll be beat out. And now worked ahead, Nickerson. Cross ice for Terrace. That one goes through his feet. McCray will set back up. Sending it up through center. Lava. Up the wall he goes. McCray's on it in the corner. Long pass up for Nickerson. Taken away by Cochran. Now back up top. White sends one through. Whittier's there. And he'll hold on. 3:29 left to go. Face off one by Ferguson. And now he's got a chance away. Tommy Ferguson with Zach Banks with them. And he scores! Tommy Ferguson walks in all alone down the near side, rips one off the bar, and the Wildcats have regained the lead. Now Ferguson right back to center ice. And the Wildcats control once again with the lead. Now Rennie, he's got 3, or he's got 2 already. He's looking for 3. And the third would be oh so beautiful right now for the Fundy Thunder. Zach Banks walks in, and that one's high off the shoulder of DeWolf. A long pass out to center. Couldn't find a stick of anybody in a black jersey, so back down into the corner it goes. Stoddard. Out for Peyton Ketty. He tried to stretch that one through center for Etheridge. Just couldn't find the tape. Blandon now will give pressure down low. Etheridge picks it free. But Singer back on it. Up for Cochran. Cross ice. Try to find Rennie breaking in, but that one's taken away. Cameron up through center. And now Moore. Takes a bump. Works it into the offensive zone. Cameron and Moore tied up once again. Now back out for the point. That one sitting in the slot. Singer lifts one high to center. And now a hand pass called. And we'll get a whistle with 1:42 to go. Pitts Goes back to Singer, 136. DeWolf might leave that crease soon. Mueller works in. There goes DeWolf on his way to the bench. So 6 on 5. As we sit 6 on 5. 1:29 to go. And a timeout has been called. So we'll be right back here on High Button after this break. .129 to go, score 6-5 for the Wildcats, and if they can hold on for another minute and a half, they'll come away with the 2 points here at home in what has been a thriller so far. It's the affiliate, Tommy Ferguson, with the go-ahead goal right now. Nickerson plays it back to the point, Singer. Had McCray working in on him, trying to close down that shooting lane. On the far side, Cochran down low into the slot. This one gets out of the zone. Singer's got to get back for it. 65 seconds left to go, and the open cage for the Thunder is yawning. Ringette up through center. That's off a body. McCray was looking for his third into the open cage. Now Terrace trying to work it free. McCray tumbles as well. And that'll allow the Thunder to kind of work out freely. It's Ulith working in. He'll rim one around the wall. On the far side, Rennie's there, but Gambin gets to it first. Gambin in the corner. 25 seconds left to go. Rennie trying to work it free. This one sent down the ice. Maybe an icing call, but Terrace gonna beat it out. Terrace gonna work free and score. And that'll do it. Jack Terrace with the icing on the cake. 9.6 seconds left to go. And the Wildcats make it 7-5. And they'll end off the game, sending out the affiliates. A nice little tribute to the young guns here. Doing the best they can for this squad anytime they're up with it. But that'll do it here from the Credit Union Center in Kingston. Rowan Lonergan points down to the scoreboard. And it shows 7-5 in favor of the Valley Wildcats. They'll walk away with the 2 points here from Kingston. We thank you once again for tuning in to this one on High Button Sports, a pre-recorded version of this one of your Nova Scotia U16 AAA Hockey League coverage. Jaden Camo for High Button Sports saying thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.